You turn the key. The engine hums to life. You check your mirrors out of habit, but there's no one to wait for, no passenger to acknowledge, no schedule to keep. Just you, the car, and whatever thoughts are rattling around in your head. You pull out of the driveway and something shifts. The weight of performing, of being on, just lifts away. And for the first time all day, maybe all week, you can finally breathe. This isn't about speed, it's about solitude, about the strange peace that comes when it's just you and the road, moving through the world at your own pace, thinking your own thoughts, being completely, unapologetically yourself. Chapter 1: The Last Sacred Space. When did you last have a moment of genuine solitude? Not 5 minutes scrolling your phone, but real solitude. Time to exist without input, without notifications, without someone needing something from you. Your car might be the only place left where that's possible. You slide into the driver's seat, and the world goes quiet, not silent. You still hear the engine, the tires on asphalt, but the noise in your head, the constant chatter of obligations and expectations, that starts to fade. Out here, no one can reach you. Your phone might buzz, but you don't have to answer. You're driving. You have an excuse to be unreachable, free. The steering wheel becomes a meditation tool. You're not fighting traffic or chasing lap times. You're just moving, and in that movement, something settles. You realize you've been holding your breath for hours, maybe days. The tension starts to release. You didn't know you were carrying all that weight until you set it down. Chapter 2: The Speed Delusion. Everyone talks about driving fast like it's the point. We chase horsepower figures and acceleration times like they mean something fundamental about the experience of driving. But speed is external. It's performance for an audience, even if that audience is just yourself. It's about proving something. Driving alone isn't about proving anything. It's about feeling something. The faster you go, the less you feel. Speed compresses time, blurs details, demands focus on the immediate. You're reacting, not reflecting, surviving, not savoring. But drive slowly, drive thoughtfully, and everything opens up. You notice things. The way morning light hits that building just right. The rhythm of your own breathing as it syncs with the gentle pulse of the engine. Speed is a drug. It gives you a quick hit of adrenaline, then leaves you craving more. Solitude is different. It's sustainable. It doesn't demand more to maintain the effect. It just asks you to be present. Chapter 3: The Conversation You Can't Have with Passengers. There's a conversation that happens when you're alone in a car, not with another person, but with yourself. With the part of you that usually stays quiet when others are around. Passengers change everything, even the best ones. Suddenly you're driving for them as well as yourself. You're performing the role of driver instead of simply being one. Alone, you stop performing. You drive the way you actually want to drive. Maybe you take routes that make no logical sense, but feel right somehow. Maybe you sit in your driveway for an extra few minutes just because you can. You start talking to yourself, working through problems out loud, singing badly to songs from your teenage years, being weird in ways you can't be anywhere else. This is where insights happen. Not the forced kind, but the quiet realizations that bubble up when your brain finally has space to wander. You figure out things you didn't know you were trying to figure out. The car becomes a confessional booth on wheels. You can admit things to yourself that you've been avoiding. You can be honest in ways that feel impossible when you're surrounded by others' expectations. Chapter 4: The Geography of Solitude. Every road becomes different when you're alone. Routes you've taken 1,000 times reveal new possibilities. That side street you always ignored suddenly looks interesting. You're not optimizing for time or efficiency anymore. You're optimizing for feeling, for the simple pleasure of moving through space at your own pace. You discover roads you didn't know existed in your own neighborhood. You find yourself taking the long way home, not by accident, but by choice. The destination becomes less important than the journey. There's a particular kind of peace that comes from being lost, genuinely lost, with nowhere you need to be. Your phone can get you home anytime, but right now, you don't want to. You want to see where this road goes. This is exploration in its purest form. Not checking items off a list, but simply being curious about the world and having the space to follow that curiosity. Chapter 5: Why This Matters. We live in a world that's forgotten the value of solitude. Everything is social, shareable, connected. We optimize for efficiency over meaning, for productivity over peace. But driving alone reminds you that some experiences can't be shared, shouldn't be shared. They're meant to be private, personal, yours alone. This isn't antisocial. It's about recognizing that you need space to exist as yourself, not as someone's partner or parent or employee, but as the complete person you are when no one else is defining you. The car gives you that space, moving space which somehow feels different from stationary space. There's something about motion that unlocks thoughts, loosens the grip of daily stress. You realize that some of your best ideas, your clearest moments happen here, alone, moving through the world at whatever speed feels right. Eventually, you have to go back. The drive ends. You pull into your driveway, turn off the engine, and sit for a moment in the sudden silence. You're the same person who left, but somehow different, calmer, clearer, more yourself. You've remembered something important, that you're allowed to exist without purpose, without agenda, without anyone else's needs defining your experience. And tomorrow, when the weight of everything starts to feel too heavy again, you'll remember. You'll grab your keys, and you'll remind yourself that some drives aren't about the destination. They're about the driver.